Okay, good afternoon, dear participants of the online course. Happy to see all of you here. I hope that you had time to uh, reflect on the previous session and to start using the knowledge and strategies that you've learned during the first session in your actual teaching practices. Today, in our second session, which concludes the first week of the course, we continue talking about effective lesson planning for English language teaching. And again, today we are having two sessions, and speakers of these two sessions are Bibi Sorora Ramazonova and Rayongul Ramatbekova, who are very active participants of the C5+1 ED program. So Bibi Soro starts today's day, and she's going to talk about stages of a lesson. I know that lesson planning is the topic that is learned at universities if you are studying at if you're majoring in teaching, but still it's something which is very useful to update knowledge on. And if you forgot something about lesson planning and if you were confused about some of the stages of the lesson, this session of Bibisoro is a great opportunity to refresh your memory and to clarify some points that were confusing to you. So without further taking your time, let's jump directly to the session. And Bibi Soro, over to you. Let me start sharing my screen.
Thank you very much, dear Ms. Shomro. Yeah, good afternoon, dear colleagues, one more time. Hope you are all doing well, and I'm happy to see you here with me. And I hope I could share with you the knowledge which I have gained from C5+1 ED and EWB. Before we start our lesson, please answer in one word in the chat. You can do it in the chat. How many stages of lessons are in? How many stages of lesson plans do you know? And which stage of a lesson is the most difficult for you? You can put one and answer with one word for the first question, and you can put two and put only one word with this number. 9. I can see Jumaku wrote 9. Okay, let me write it. How many stages of lesson? Okay, Yıldız wrote 5. Shahlo 6. Jumagul is 8. Okay. Anybody else? Or Perusa wrote. Dear Zuhro, I think that they are marking themselves with the 10 score of putting marks, because for now in Tajikistan we have this type of marking, giving grading to the students. That's why it is 8, 9, 6, etc. Okay, thank you very much. Yeah, thank you very much. Okay, I was waiting for the answers like production, timing, and etc. And that's why exactly lesson structure matters. So the topic of today's session is stages of a lesson. It is leading, presentation, practice, production, and reflection. These 5 stages of a lesson are commonly used in communicative language teaching and help balance teacher talk and student activity. Next slide, please. Thank you. By the end of this session, you will understand the 5 stages, learn the purpose of each stage, see practical classroom examples, and finally apply these stages to your real classes, to your real lessons. For today, it is not only theory, it is practical and applicable. That's why this stage of lesson really means to us as teachers. Next slide, please. Okay, what is a lesson stage? It is a lesson stage is a structured step inside in a lesson. It really helps us to move from introduction to practice and finally to real communication. Without stages, lessons often become chaotic and or teacher-centered. And I think we all have such kind feelings or maybe situations when we finish lessons and we felt that students didn't actually use the language. So that's why we are going to clarify and one more time remaining that these lesson stages are really important for us as a teachers. So now I'm going to show you a picture of something. So can you see it? If you see it, could you please react somehow? Thank you. Thank you. Okay, what do you see? Could you please answer? What do you see here? Any volunteers? What do you think? What will be the topic of today's session? The bag, okay. Did you recognize anything else? Yeah, with ornaments, national craft, national bag, ornament. Thank you. But what will be the topic for today's session? Something traditional. Thank you, Medina. Colors, maybe. But okay, you are very close. Culture, thank you very much. Yes, Medina. Today we will talk lesson plan about culture. Okay, next slide, please. It is leading. Yes, thank you very much. Leading is the warm-up stage. Its purpose is not teaching grammar, it is engaging students and activating their background knowledge. So, but for now, by using this bag, I showed you that today's theme is related to this thing. Okay, leading, as you know, should be short. It should be about 3 or 5 minutes, but not more. For example, you can use picture discussions, short video, or by asking questions, you can brainstorm and clarify the topic of your lesson. Thank you very much. Dear Zuhra, could you please move to the next slide? Okay, presentation is where we introduce new language, new topic, grammar, or vocabulary. Here, accuracy is really important because here we show form, meaning, and examples. Here, teacher talks more, but still involves students with questions. Okay, how do you think, how many minutes we should give for our presentation? If our lead-in is about 3 or 5 minutes, so how many minutes will be for the presentation? Any volunteers? Yes, 10 minutes, 10, 15. Yeah, it's really related to the topic, because if our topic is large, more than usual, if there are more information, so we need to to do it longer as usual. But for common topics, it is really enough to 10 minutes. Okay. Okay, in presentation, should teacher only give information, the theory by herself, or should involve somehow students? Yes, of course, because yes, Charlotte, thank you. We started with questions. We started with showing something. Yes, you are absolutely right, Perusa. It will be really boring. Pre-reading activities, yes, it is for reading part of the session. As you know, each part of our lesson has their parts, yeah? It is, if it is more related to the reading part, we can start with reading activities, pre-reading activities. If it is related to the listening skills, we need to switch on something is related to the theme. Soon we will start involving them by asking questions. Okay. Yes, you are right. Thank you. Miss Suhrab, could you please move? In practice part, practice is controlled training. The focus here is accuracy, correct grammar, and structure. Here, a teacher supports each student. Here, support from the teacher should be in a high stage, because while we will be practicing, we can hear and notice that the students are making mistakes or they are out of the theme. Here we are as a guide, and here our students really need our support. And for example, we can give them tasks. For example, filling in the gaps, multiple choice, matching the exercises. If you know any other examples for practice, could you please share? Any volunteers? Is there any examples for practice in your lessons? Maybe it is different from ours. Yes, thank you, Zuhro, for writing the questions very quickly. Any volunteers who would like to answer to these questions? What kind of practice do you use in your classes to help your students use new language? Yes, matching gap fills. Yes. Yeah, by dividing them into groups at the beginning of the practice, so we can also make dialogues related to the theme, or we can bring them a question, maybe questions which has a kind of issue or problem which they can solve, practice, or correct their mistakes. Thank you very much. Next slide, please. Production. Okay, how do you understand what is a production? Filling gaps, exercise, and matching tasks. Oh, thank you very much, Shanglo. Yes, it is a really good way to involve them and to practice their language during the classes. What is production stage in teaching, dear colleagues? How you find it? How you do your production part in your classes, in your lessons? You can write it in chat. If any volunteers, you can talk.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you. Hello.
Okay, I would like to just say the answer here. So in the practice stage, the students actually use the language in real life situations, like for instance, practicing dialogues or role plays. That's what I do usually.
Yes, thank you very much. Yeah, role plays, discussions, debates, yes, they are the ways which we can use and involve, practice the knowledge which they gain during their classes. Yes, thank you very much. Okay, production is the stage of independence. Students use the language freely, and here fluency becomes more important than accuracy. The teacher's role is to observe, to support, but not to be a controller. I think, yes. Yeah, thank you. Next slide, please.
Ozir.
Aziza? Do you have any questions?
No, just hello.
Oh,
Previous-
hello.
Hello to everyone. Just I want to add to the previous, then to reflection actually about
Yes,
production that was about maybe using a lot of, for example, practice, as you have just said, practice English speaking skills there, and see how you're effective, how you use, for example, all those stages effectively. And reflection for me is so when so this is the higher, I think, level than that production one. I think so, something different from that one. So reflection when you use and you're how can I say, this is where you really understand, so and you maybe make clear things, when the previous one the teacher doesn't control the students, but here this time to reflect, something like that. Maybe I'm wrong. I don't know, sorry.
No, thank you very much for your answer. And yeah, it is really important to control, to observe, not control, by showing them, by saying directly that it is during their talk, I mean, to say that you were wrong here. Now, I think it is better to do it at the end, just to make them being more clear and using language in that way, which it is. So, yes, how do you usually end your classes, dear colleagues?
Can I say, usually?
Yes.
Usually I end my classes with, for example, some activity. For example, I use games, because they leave the class, I think, in a more good spirit, and they're more happier. I think so, happier. And the impression after the class is great after it ends. I think so. This is short game or something like that. After I give them homework and everything is done about the class, about the learning part, and then I just end up with such short game, something like that.
Yes, you're right. Thank you very much. But yes, with short reflections.
Hello.
Yes,
Can I say
Perusa. Yes, please.
I want to say that in case of reflection, when we end our class and when is everything ended, I gave them stickers note in order to ask them what they have learned, what they liked, and just to reflect our lesson from their point of view. Yes.
Yes, thank you, Perusa. But yes, by asking questions, by asking their feelings about the session, it is a really good way to clarify what was good, what went good, what went wrong. And I think another thing is what we can use in reflection is exit tickets. Exit tickets where you can wrote these questions related to the theme and or asking questions. What do you learn today and what was difficult for you? And soon to work in pairs, yeah, sharing with your elbow partner or in a group. You can also make your reflections more effective. So reflection closes the lesson. They students think about what they learned and teacher gives feedback. This stage helps students remember and internalize their knowledge. And yeah, also what we have mentioned earlier by asking questions, what did you learn today? What was difficult? You can be sure that they have learned something.
Maybe Sora, Miss Baby Sora,
Yes.
can I ask you a question?
Yes.
Should we should we get prepared for the cards beforehand? I mean, in advance, yes, to write questions to the according to that topic that we're going to have, for example, today. So they should be ready, yes. So and then at the end, we should just hand them to the students in order, and then give them feedback after the answers. Yes, that's right.
Yes, you're absolutely right. You have to prepare it earlier before the lesson, and
Mm-hmm.
at the end you can. I'm sorry.
No, no, no. It's okay. Yeah, I'm listening to you.
Okay, yeah. Yes, this kind of exit tickets will be really interested to the classroom because they will never know what is the questions behind this ticket, and it
How did you
really
call them?
gives us
Exit
exit ticket. Yes, exit tickets. You can write there two questions, general
Mm-hmm.
questions, or it could be from the lesson.
Yes. Okay, thank you.
Thank you also. And next slide, please, Zuhro. Okay. Timing, I think it is really important because, as we mentioned earlier, for our lead-in, we can use 3 or 5 minutes for our presentation, about 10 minutes, and for our practice, about 10 minutes also. But production part is more important because here we use student-centered approach. For reflection, 5 minutes should be okay. And here in Tajikistan, we teach our students, our classes are about 45 minutes. Is there any volunteers from the other countries who could share with us? Maybe it is really different from ours. Same in Kazakhstan, 45 minutes. Thank you, Yulduz. Any other volunteers? Dear Yulduz, if you don't mind, could you please share with us how you do these, how you divide these 45 minutes? It's
Hello, everyone. So in Kazakhstan, it's the same situation, 45 minutes for per lesson. So I will say that in the beginning, I devote like 5 minutes for the lead-in practice, and I ask the questions. So I try to, you know, I try to immerse them in the English language, yeah, after some kind of subjects. And then I devote like at the end 5 minutes for the reflection, and we have 35 minutes then. And I will say if the topic is really hard for the students, or maybe it can be informative in some ways, like passive voice, present continuous passive voice. So I will say I will devote like 10 to maybe 12 minutes for the theme. But I will say even 10 to 12 minutes, I try to immerse the learners to this, even topic discussion, because in this way, the students can try to figure out the theme by themselves, yeah, not just I am explaining it. So I will say like 45 minutes, 10 minutes, 35 minutes, and 35 minutes minus 10 minutes, 25 minutes. Good. And 25 minutes, I will say I'm going to devote for about maybe 10 minutes for the controlled practice, like fill in the gap or maybe match the pictures. It really depends on the theme, yeah. And after, I would organize the freer practice where they can create they can make the dialects by themselves, and they can do a role play game and so on and so forth. I think it's really enhances it enhances their knowledge, and they can be active learners in this way. So totally it's 45 minutes in the same like in Tajikistan.
Thank you very much for your answer. It is, yes, the same as in Tajikistan. But here we have a different answer from Morocco. Could you please, Botania, I'm sorry if I pronounced it incorrect. Could you please share with us for 1 hour, how are you dividing the parts of lesson and adapting these stages during your classes? Okay, dear Nodira, if you want, you can share with us.
Can I add something?
Yeah, sure.
So in governmental Kazakhstani school, it's 45 minutes, but we have also NIS school. That's Nazarbayev Intellectual Schools in Kazakhstan, and teacher they are devoted for about 2 hours for the per lesson. So it's like, yeah, for example, Monday, if they have an English language, it will be for about 2 hours. So that's very interesting.
Wow, yes. Then presentation, 15-minute practice also takes around 15. Okay, thank you very much from Morocco. Okay, I think if we have only 45 minutes or 40 minutes, yeah, we don't remove stages. We just reduce them, reduce time. And we can shorter leading and presentation slightly, but production and reflection should remain. The key rule is cut activates, not learning outcomes. These parts are really important, and we are as teachers should take a note that if we are not able to adapt the lesson plan into 45 minutes. So, and dear Zuhro, could you please move to the next stage? How do you think? why these stages matter. These 5 stages which were mentioned any volunteers? Why we need these stages? As for me, from my experience, I can say that these stages really matter to keep our lessons organized, because I cannot imagine my lessons without planning them earlier. And while I'm providing classes, yes, we can forget something. If you have your lessons stage by stage and you know how to prepare them to the adapting your themes, your classes, it is really helpful. You can look at it and say, I have missed this part, or I have to add something else which I have mentioned into my lesson plan. If there are any volunteers,
Can I say?
yes, please,
Mrs.
Aziza.
Yeah, I think that the organizing their classes are very important for a teacher, because as you have just told, you should have been prepared for the lesson before, so earlier, and to take into consideration that for example, the students are going to talk and to be hard to say how to be distracted sometimes during the lesson, and you should keep their attention on you, on the teacher. So and it takes time, a lot, and it wastes the time of both students and the teacher, I think. And when you have a lesson plan, and when you are organized and the students feel that, really, when you know what are you doing and what are your goals are. For example, for today's lesson, when you come into the classroom and you know what to do, and from the previous just you have mentioned about the uh, stages of the lesson, 45 minutes, yes, and when you exactly know that what are you going to have today, for example, what topic, and you're just divided them into the parts, and really your lesson is organized, and it balances everything, both teacher and your time, our time, I think so. And the result is so really, so it is a success, your lesson, I think so.
Yes, you're right. Thank you very much. Yeah, it is in the modern technology area. For now, we all know that ChatGPT is preparing everything, but I think when we use our lesson plans just for tick, we cannot say that this lesson should be somehow productive, because if we do not prepare before the lesson, if we not go through the theme, we do not know what to say them and what to expect. So yes, for teachers, it is always important to be prepared earlier. It doesn't matter how many years of experience do we have. And every year we are discovering something new, something new methods of teaching, or some new games which could be more interesting for the classroom. And also it is that if one approach is more effectively influences to reaching results, our aims at one class, it should not work with the other class. So yes, it is, we have to be flexible, and we will also take in attention that our classes are really different, and our students also. So next slide, please, Ms. Suhrom. So to conclude lesson stage, we have to create structure, balance, teacher and student talk, and improve learning outcomes. When we follow these stages, while we are following these stages, we can be flexible, and our lessons become more effective. Thank you for attention. Do you have any questions or examples from your own practice you would like to share?
Let us see how well participants how attentively were the participants listening to your session. So right now, dear participants, we have a couple of reflection questions, especially those who haven't talked yet or haven't written anything in the chat yet. Please kindly unmute yourselves and reflect on these questions. So Bibi Soro, would you be so kind to facilitate this group discussion?
Okay. We haven't heard today Inayatullah, yeah? Mr. Inayatullah, if you are listening, could you please share?
Thank you, Miss Bibi Soro. Because I was engaged with my students, I have lessons here. I couldn't even listen to you. I could listen to you, but I couldn't even to answer your question or to make practice because I had also lessons here with my students. What if learners move directly from presentation to free communication? It always happens with us because when we begin to speak, as we say, as I begin to answer to your question, my students begin to speak. It's okay. All this happens, and to control them, we should be a little bit strict, right? To say them to ask question from our practice or from our lessons to engage them more into our themes directly, right?
Yes, directly.
Thank you, Soro. I know you.
Thank you,
You did your best.
Mr. Inayatullah, with sharing with
You did your
us.
best.
Thank you. Miss Jumango, Miss Donistamo, are you with us? Mr. Nazridin is also here. Miss Madina, Miss Mahina Khan. What happens if learners move directly from presentation to free communication without...
Shahlo mentioned herself also here. Me too. She wrote me too.
Okay.
Hello.
Hello.
Okay.
Yes, we can hear you.
Learners directly move from presentation to free communication. We every day we see it. We always, our students are like this. For example, if they are interested in our presentation and if the topic for them is like, how to say, it's not like it's interesting for them, and they, for example, it's connected to their daily time, they always start to communicate to each other, and it it happens that, for example, it will be very noisy in this case because they are talking loudly, they are like sharing their ideas. But I think we need to to finish our presentation in order to make everything clear for them. Yes, and in this case I always do, for example, like, children, are you here? And yes, I clap and they clap with me. In this case their attention, I how to say, I but I how to say, I make their attention to my side. Yes.
Yes, just to be sure that they are listening, everything is clear, yes, by asking CCK questions. Yeah, thank you very much, Perusa.
So just to add here, of course, you are right. Sometimes students get too engaged, too excited, and they start using language without controlled practice. But you as teachers should use controlled practice to make sure that students use the language accurately, that they understand the grammar, the functions, the form accurately. So with controlled practice, we build accuracy in language. Okay, let's move to the next question.
Thank you, Ms. Zuhro.
If the first question was about what happens if we miss controlled practice, this question is about what happens if we miss production stage.
Any volunteers? Dear colleagues.
So let me help you a little bit, dear participants. So during the practice, students practice grammar and vocabulary and build accuracy. During production, they build fluency and they build actual communicative skills, ability to speak freely, to write freely, to read freely. So the correct answer to this question would be, if you miss production stage in your classes, your students will know a lot of rules, but they will not be able to use those rules in their conversations. So we all know those people who know a lot of rules about language, but they cannot speak. They lose themselves when they actually need to speak. Those are the people who missed the opportunity to use the language freely because their teachers missed production stage in their lessons. So I hope that you will be more attentive in your lessons and never never miss production stage. Otherwise, your students know the rules but don't know how to use the language.
Yes, you're absolutely right, dear Zuhro, because without practicing, we cannot say that our lesson has results. And unfortunately, yes, we can say that we know a lot of theories, but without practicing, we could not reach the aims, the goals which we have. Thank you very much, dear colleagues. I hope I shared with you the knowledge which I gained during these programs. If you have any questions, feel free to write them in chat. I will be answering. Thank you very much. Dear Zuhro, we cannot hear you.
Yeah, thank you very much for your great presentation. Everything was clear, and participants, thank you very much for sharing your personal experiences. Right now, let us do our check-in. I have sent the link in the chat. Please quickly go through this link, and you have just 1 minute to go and click that you're attending today's session. I am reminding that we use these check-ins for tracking attendance so that at the end of the course, we provide our certificates only for those who have participated in 7 out of 9 sessions at least. Perfect participation is, of course, 9 out of 9, but if you participate at least at 7 sessions out of 9, you also are eligible to get our certificate. So for that purpose, please click on this link and mark your attendance. So, Rayongul, are you here? Let's start our second workshop session. Rayongul is going to be talking about adapting lesson plans to different contexts and time constraints. We already learned from the chat that we have participants whose classes last for 1 hour. We have participants whose classes last for 90 minutes if we are talking about university teachers.
Okay, just a
So
minute.
Rayongul will be
Can
talking
you hear
about
me?
how to adapt this. Yes, Rayongul, we can hear you. Let me start sharing your presentation, and you please let me know if you will be able to see my screen. Just a second.
Okay, yeah, before the presentation, let's say good day, everyone. I am Rayongul Ramatbekova, and I also participated in C5+1 program in Kazakhstan, and we have learned a lot of things there, and here we are today to share with you. Okay, today we will talk about adapting lesson plans to different contexts and time constraints. Okay.
Just a second. For some reason, I cannot start
The
sharing.
presentation.
Yes, I need to reopen it. Just give me a minute. I will rejoin from another device and open that.
Okay. Okay. While Zuhra is finding the presentation,